For Through the Darkest of Times review, I live streamed the game. For more live stream reviews or games, check out Rogue Media Gaming or Rocket V03 on Twitch. In Through the Darkest of Times, it's 1933, and Hitler is appointed Chancellor.
Is this a Nazi killing game?
It sure is! You have to raise a resistance and fight the Nazi regime. Through the Darkest of Times is a historical resistance strategy game that involves assigning characters on missions and choosing story-driven narrative choices.
I'm from the United States, as you might have guessed from my accent.
I thought so, yes. Through the Darkest of Times starts off with you being able to customize your character, how they look down to their occupation, which will come in handy when you have to assemble your team later based on who best they work with. Through the Darkest of Times introduces a unique system that has you balancing political and social ideologies that have an effect on whether some missions will be easier or harder. Not just that though, you can't change your beliefs, but you can level up your skills like strength and secrecy to help your missions get accomplished too. This already has a great take, but where you'll get the most enjoyment out of the game is the gripping and heartfelt stories you encounter and create within Through the Darkest of Times.
When a man loves a man, or a woman loves a woman, do you believe that's wrong?
No, it's not wrong. I think love is love, no matter who is loving whom, I say. And see a relieved smile on his face. Aww. With just one playthrough, I helped a Jewish man hide from the SS in a bomb shelter, only for it to be destroyed seconds later in an air raid. I even convinced a teacher to help me talk down Hitler Youth and lay down their weapons, instead of throwing their lives away against the Soviets. These stories are powerful, and their impact is an impressive testimony to the will of human resistance and desire for peace. There isn't much that Through the Darkest of Times has to improve on. I found a few text mistakes such as an apostrophe being labeled in the game as code, and I found it confusing that they started off each new paragraph with quotations, even though it was the same person talking. I kept getting tripped up when doing my character voices because I thought someone new was talking who was actually the same person.
Hello, I'm Thomas Fox.
Of course, he says. Lastly, I didn't know if I was winning or not throughout the game, or whether going after certain items would be beneficial. Clearer labels on how to win and details what items could do would make the game a bit easier to understand. However, I was able to look past these minor gripes because the story being told reminded me of all the good that humanity has to offer. Through the Darkest of Times is a great strategy game based on the horrific atrocities in the society that Nazis implemented. Building the resistance is rewarding, especially when you realize that even though you and your team members have varying beliefs, you are united in your commitment to stop the Nazi party. Although Through the Darkest of Times sometimes lacks solid direction on what to do, it ultimately has an incredible story to tell about the everyday German people resisting evil. Because of that, I'm giving Through the Darkest of Times an 8 out of 10. Through the Darkest of Times was developed by Paintbucket Games and was published by both Paintbucket Games and HandyGames. It is available on Windows. Through the Darkest of Times was played on a PC, and a review code was provided for this report. Until next time, play like a rogue! Hey, I just found out that you can turn off swastikas. I wonder what the game looks like. Oh my god! Is that Joseph Stalin?